Coaches, what's going on? It's Coach Ian Tatum here, back with another clinic series video. And today I have a very special guest. I have Charlie Feller, who's the O-line coach at Duncanville High School, powerhouse in Texas. Coach, we really appreciate you coming on and talking offensive line play with us and showing some film presentation.
Coach, I'm very excited to be here this evening. Very grateful that folks want to listen to what we do here. Um, just really grateful. As Coach said, I'm at Duncanville High School. We're in Duncanville, Texas. I'm the run game coordinator, strength and conditioning coordinator there. One piece I want to touch on, I know we're talking about offensive line play, and that's my passion. We work with the best kids, but the strength and conditioning piece is something I'm very fortunate to have had that piece given to me by Coach Samples here at Duncanville, and then previously Coach Joseph at Port Neches Groves, where I was the offensive coordinator and strength and conditioning coordinator. And something we lift our butts off all year long, but we haven't had any ACL or shoulder injuries, MCL injuries over those 3 years, and then even go back to when I was a head coach in Iowa for 2 years. So 5 years of no injuries, and that's something that's probably my favorite thing to do in coaching is the strength piece. So you got my contact information here, guys. If you ever want to touch base about that, it's old school stuff. Guys that taught me, Jeff Skern, a legend in Arizona, Derek Fitzhenry, a coach here in Texas, and then my first boss up in Iowa, Tony Lombardi. So those guys gave me a lot of ideas. But what I'm going to talk about today, you have my contact information here. I'm not going to get into all where I've been, all the stuff I've done. That stuff's on there. My resume or my LinkedIn is tied into my Twitter. So without further ado, we're going to get into how we pair inside zone and power. Now, I've tried to get this down. It's about 90 minutes, so cinch it up and hunker down, boys. Why do we like inside zone and power? It's our day one install, first of all. It allows us to be multiple annually. So meaning, do we have a 10P team? Do we have a 32P team? Is our quarterback a runner? Do we have fullbacks and tight ends? We don't know at the high school level what we're going to get. So it allows us, if we jump off with these two plays on day one, we can go off on other tangents very easily. We do run GH counter, we run GT counter. Not only do we run inside zone, we run outside zone, we run pin and pull, we run buck sweep. So there's not a scheme we don't carry, but when we start with these two plays, the fundamentals, the identifications that we have allow us to branch out. And then we really like them because they're violent, physical downhill runs. We want to create as many double teams as possible. We're very fortunate the last 3 years to have played, Texas high school football. There's 6 playoff games in a season to play to a state championship. In the last 3 years, I've been fortunate to coach in 17 of those 18 weeks. Play for 2 state championships, won at Port Neches, then we lost in the semifinal this year. But when we've had big kids have got us there, right? But these two plays, inside zone and power, and creating double teams and moving people to the point of attack is really what I think has separated us from most folks. And I don't know if that sounds arrogant or whatnot, but it also allows us to have our RPOs. We RPO everything, whether it's a tagged RPO with stick or slants. We have our free access rules with hitches on the backside, and whether it's to the field or the boundary, we're going to run now screens and bubble screens. And with these two plays being box declared plays, and I'll get into the rules in a minute, it allows us to spit the ball out there and get the ball to the kids on a perimeter, but also have a attack in the box. So what I'm going to talk about today is our 11P and our 21P stuff. We're probably at 20%, 22% 11P, 20% 21P, and then we're another 20% or 30% 10P team, and then we mix in our goal line offense. But as far as inside zone and power, to pair these two, I wanted to stick in these two worlds because I think the 10P world, you get into power. That's really an ISO G play. I'm talking when I say power, block down, kick out, right? So we want gap rules on the front side, and then one back power in my mind. 10P is you're going to ISO the front side, and you got to be right. If you guess right on the backside, you're going to have run through all day long. But without further ado, I'll get into it's going to be a mix of game tape over the last 3 seasons. At Duncanville, we lost a state champion or semifinal this past season, and then Port Neches, where we played the last 2 state championships in 5A. So our first play is our inside zone. Some of the end zone film isn't the best. So our inside zone with the fullback on the backside. So what I said earlier Inside zone for us is a box declared play, meaning the linemen are going to handle the box. The center is going to communicate. He will start the communication. He will first ID the front, even or odd for us. And then there's a stack and bear. We'll get into that later. But in this particular look, it's an even front, not because it's 4 down, but because a guard is covered. That means there's going to be a double team of some capacity, or it could be a solo block if it's a true over front and we're zoning to it. But right here, box declared play. And then we ID the first linebacker in the box as the Mike, so he's our point. And then the first linebacker behind the point is going to be the will. Our rules: first double team works to the Mike, second double team works to the will. So in this particular structure, you can all see my mouse, Coach, if I move it around. I have a pointer.
Yeah, we got it.
Great. Okay, so in this particular, we're not going to worry about the outside linebacker unless by depth and demeanor he walks up on the line of scrimmage, and then we're going to push to it. We'll make a call where a lineman will push to it. Probably won't be able to get to the will linebacker now, but we'll at least get the ball to the line of scrimmage and live another day. One thing is maybe a little different than we do. It's not something I came up with. We're always going to step with our play side tackles inside foot first. Now, I know we're going inside zone to the left here, and our back is to the play. But so many defenses today, especially even front structures, with that back away and you zone to him, that guy's taking the B gap immediately. We see that all the time in Texas. So we step with our inside foot first. We widen our split out, and that allows it to keep the 5 technique, a 5 technique. And in this particular look, we're going to get 2 really good double teams at the point of attack in theory. Now, you'll see it may be a little bit different. Okay, so as we start the play side center, now once we've ID'd the front, we indicate who the Mike and the will are. The tackle is going to communicate down the line. Now he's going to call, hey, I need a double team. I got a 5 technique. All right, well, he'll communicate to the guard, and the guard says, no, I can't do that. I have a backside threat. So now me and the center, we're going to double to the Mike. So the center communicates, yep, I can come with you. I don't have anybody on me. Now the guard, he's going to communicate to the tackle, hey, I got a backside threat. I need you to help me, or we're going to double team to this will linebacker. So when we double team, our covered man, he's going to step with the play side foot first, just pick it up, put it down, try to get that inside foot in the crotch, and we want to lift with our shoulder. Everything we do in our double teams, we shoulder block. We want to get our shoulder into people's belly, and we want to lift them. So if it's a zone double, most times we're going to get in an overlap and try to become a 600-pound man. And when I get to the gap runs, we want to gallop, hit him in the hip, and we're going to torque that 3 technique into the A gap if it were power in this particular picture to a 3. But that's how these double teams will work in theory. So starting off right here, play side tackle step with the inside foot first, really good job. Now we get some line movement, and our backside guy, our uncovered guys do a wonderful job of getting to the second level. So the end zone, it's a little bit wide. I apologize. But you can see right here, we always talk all the time about our double teams can always become a solo block. Don't be surprised by that. If that guy crosses face on, both guards here do a great job of pressing that thing vertical once those guys cross into their gap. Beautiful job by the center, ducking to the Mike as well as the backside tackle. The one thing I will say, I don't like the tackle here. He had a bad habit of it all year, is he wants to pivot and cross over a lot, but he's so talented. He's so physical. He gets away with it. Now, our H-back in this particular play, I have never ran the inside zone with the fullback on the backside prior to coming to Duncanville. I would argue till I'm blue in the face, this is not duo. We'll have a play later on. It kind of looks like duo, but this kid, he takes a power path. I take no credit for how this young man is one of the best players in the country. Zach Turner is his name. And our previous offensive coordinator, Todd Peterman, did a marvelous job of teaching him how to play H-back. And then I would say our receiver coach, Xavier Brown, is one of the best football coaches I've ever been around. Our receiving, and this kid really plays a lot of receiver for us, Zach Turner, this guy playing H-back in this particular picture. Our receivers do a better job than about anybody in the country blocking on the perimeter. It is a thing of beauty to be associated with how they block. So I take no credit for how this kid's about to do this and wall that guy out, but we press it vertical, and the back does a great job keeping that ball in the A gap. The path of our center, our back is always going to be the midline of the center on our inside zones. Whether he's back two, back away, we're going to manipulate that week to week based upon where we think people will align. We put him to the field because we wanted to handle the Sam with an RPO. We didn't want to have to worry about plus calls. And there's some weeks where we'll carry our inside zones. We're not going to have a plus call where we're going to push out to that Sam if he walks up. We're going to say, forget that. we'll spit the ball out to kids who are better athletes. So that's just a same side inside zone with the fullback on the right running inside zone to the left here with the back to it. All right. Do it again here. Now we're going inside zone to the right. Fullbacks on the left. Again, box declared play. Now, in this particular structure, the quarterback knows we're throwing off the Sam. It's a man coverage look. So the games are off. Not a great look. We got to hand it off into a loaded box. He's not walked up. There's no push or plus call to him. So we're going to be solo here. Step with the inside foot first. In theory, pre-snap. Center says even front. Even front. Here is the mic. So first double team by the center and the right guard. We'll work to the mic. Backside double. Right or left guard, left tackle should work to the will linebacker. Again, a power pass, just like we run the power. You'll see later on. Should be a nice vertical football play for us. Knock guys backwards. Now we talked again. The end zone is not as good as this view of watching that left tackle and center getting to the second level off that line movement. Really a beautiful job by the right guard or the left tackle and the center getting off to the mic and the will, and the back just staying down the midline. Really a good job there. You can see the line movement by the guards here. They're going to shift late. We had a little bit of a look here late in the game. This is DeSoto. I think we go into this game. They're number 7 in the country. We're number 3. My poor wife gets there well ahead of the game. Fire marshal won't let anybody else in. She's about 50 yards to the left of this picture watching the game through the fence. Talk about love. Wild. I wouldn't do it. So right here, a perfect example why the tackle step with the inside foot first. He just makes a pile of crap in the B gap when we can get the ball where it needs to go. Guards run both those slanting tackles out. We press it vertical. Beautiful thing. All right, the next one more clip of the inside zone. This is back at 2022 at Port Neches Groves. And we lost the state championship this year. Doing a look tempo. This is Beaumont United. They play every front known to man. So right here, again, box declared play. Even front because the guards are covered. There's our mic. The first double team should work to the mic. Second double team should work to the will. Now, in theory, here, we have a wider A gap defender and a wider B gap defender. These two do a nice job of communicating. Hey, we're not going to do a double team here. I don't want to rock back and not be able to get to the mic. Over here, you're going to see where the left guard, he's a little bit more robotic. Coach said, love the kid to death. But if he thought he had to get a shoulder in the belly and he thought he was going to get his butt ripped, he wasn't going to change. So you're going to see him rock back, and we don't get a really good block on the will. You can see a good view here. The play side tackle going inside zone to the right. The play side tackle, I lied. I said we didn't run this play a lot. I found one clip of it in 2 years at Port Neches. But the play side tackle step with the inside foot first, pressing this thing vertical. I like the initial path of the center and the right guard. I don't like the guard now. Right here. I don't like how he lunges and crosses over. We want to duck walk to the second level. That's always really key to us is duck walking to the second level, knees inside our ankles, arrive with bad intentions. He position blocks there. He's out of control, clicks his heels, lets the will fall back inside, and that's who makes the tackle. On the backside, when we corrected this in film on Saturday morning, right here on the backside, we just want to cut this 4-eye. This guy's a 4-eye. I mean, he's not a 3 at all. Just cut that guy off. You duck to the will, and we'll be just fine. Great job by the initial path. This H-back was getting cut all night. He's 260-pound fullback. He listed at 225, and he argued till he's blue in the face that he wasn't 250 or plump or more. But not only was he a very large human, highly intelligent, real good back here as well. Pressing vertical in the A gap. If I'm going too fast or say too much, just give me a holler, boys. But this would be our last clip of inside zone with the fullback on the backside. I'm trying to get 2 double teams to the point of attack. Okay, so our next look, after we run the inside zone with the fullback on the backside, we're going to run split zone. In both cases, split zone and this true inside zone, I like it to an even front structure. I'll get into what I like against odds and bears later on, but we're not a massive fan. The first time I ever saw that inside zone was probably at 2019 spring, and going to watch Texas when Tom Herman, they called it cab, and everyone was running the 3-4 in the Big 12 at that time, and they were pushing everything to a Sam. They get in this kind of a look, the odd front structure that Sam walks up. They push everything and they just make a pile of humanity. And the ball cut it back, and that's where duo came back into vogue about that time, and everyone was debating that. But everything should be the same for the offensive line. What now changes for the fullback is his path should be through the heels of the play side guard, and anytime we are going to pull, so that's a fullback or a guard or a tackle or even a center, when we pull right, we want to strike right. Pull left, we want to strike left. That's the strongest position in football. Just like you tackle near foot, near shoulder, you should block near foot, near shoulder. So let's watch the fullback first, then we'll go to the end zone. There's a really good double team I want to show you here. But great job by the fullback. I don't like that he hesitates. This is Huntsville in the fourth round at NRG in 2023. Probably one of the largest football teams I've ever seen in person. He comes across, arrives with bad intentions on a 6'5", 230-pound freakazoid defensive end. Pull right, strike right. I would like to say that his hand should be inside. Again, box declared play. Talked about the rules. I call this a split six. This is an old 1970s, 60s, 80s defense in Texas. 2-3 techniques, 2 A-gap linebackers. Again, we're covered here with the tackle, play side, zone base, covered, zone base, uncovered, zone base to the mic. We should have a great double team here, and this is a really good film of these two, how the technique should work. And then they said the fullback coming across the formation now. Again, back's path should be the midline of the center. He should be, I think he's a little wide on this clip, but it sets up the 3 technique that we missed by the left guard here in a moment. But let's look at the right guard and the right tackle here. This right guard should pick up his inside foot first, put his knee in the crotch, strike with his shoulder in the belly. That's where his landmark. His eyes should be up on the mic, or the wheel linebacker, excuse me. That's the backside tackle should have a deep step, getting his face mask to the play side breastplate with a full bench. And we work the crap out of these double teams every day. Really a beautiful job of communicating by the right guard, the right tackle. I think the right guard's a little bit high. I'd like to see him a little bit lower. But that kid's about as nasty and mean a football player as there is. The left guard falls because he never rolls. He hops out of his stance. And then he never rolls his hips. He lunges. Luckily, the back runs to an arm tackle. Good run. See, let's watch the play side tackle step with the inside foot first. Does he do it? He does. Hops a little bit, but nonetheless keeps that guy an outside threat. But really good look at the split zone there. Okay. Now we have a versus over. This is 2022 back against Beaumont United. It should be solo blocks across the board because we're running it to a 5, to a 3. There's our mic. Backside shade. Fullback will come through the heels of the guard to have anything in the C gap. All right. Again, look tempo. What I don't like here, and this is, I was the assistant O-line coach and special teams coordinator the year prior under the previous staff. I'd stuck around. I love living in this community. So as I took over, I had some bad habits to break. The previous coach did a wonderful job. He's a phenomenal offensive line coach, Pete Medlock, one of the best. But this center, he always wanted to work out to the 3. I don't remember why. I can't remember anything that we did different. But it was a bad habit we had to break, and it really it took quite a while to get him to stop doing it. And I'm not saying it's Pete's fault by any means. I'm saying that it was something we had to break. And we did this quite a bit early on in the year. He knocks the guard off. Because the guard, I let my guards have the same rule as the tackles on an inside zone to a 3. I let them step with the inside foot first to keep that guy at 3. Hell, widen your split out. I saw Art Kehoe speak, I think it was in Louisville in 2014, about his dad's a plumber and he wants to use leverage to get guys width. Same thing here. Get that guy out. Don't even let him be part of the play. Back's a little wide. Again, we talked about it, and thankfully, this guy, I don't know why he's running with the H back. Maybe they had a game plan where they wanted to be man-to-man on him. But he helps us out, gets some stuff out of the play. Good job of moving by the left guard here. Zone basing a G or a 2I. I call him a G. I don't know why. I work for a guy named Derek Chris Henry. That's what he wanted to call it. Yes, sir. You're the boss. I don't like the fullback here. The The fullback's going to pull left, should strike left. You can see a better clip of it here. His pass should be through the heels of the guard. Pull left, strike left. He hops, he pulls right. He shouldn't strike right. His eyes are down. Now, I get it. Late in the game, he's been cut about 40 times. We were running GH counter at him, and the mic's cutting him. It was an unpleasant afternoon and evening for this young man. So I can understand, perhaps, he's a human being. We're not cyborgs. We're not playing football on a whiteboard. He's got to knock another man back against his will. But nonetheless, I'm going to pick on it. I don't like where his hands are. He should be striking left, because we're going to see a clip when we showed our 21 personnel. When we run split zone at Duncanville this year, our fullback does the same thing, and the guy almost folds and makes a play. But 4 or 5 yard gain, that's all we're trying to get every time. 4 yards. Okay. This is against, again, 2022, Texas City. We hadn't beat these guys in 2 years. Really physical football team down in the Houston area. Tough refinery kids, kind of similar to the Port Neches kid. Just gritty, really physical football team. This defensive end over here was a freak. He's a 4-year starter. Just gave us hell when I was an assistant O-line coach under P&G. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut him. And we're going to come across formation. We're going to saw him off and slow him down. Now, even though we had 2 Division I tackles, we felt that he was still that much better than us, and we had to do something different. And you can see it different from the Y. The tight copy is really bad. But everybody else should be just zone-based across the board, because everyone's got a play-side threat. There should be no double teams. And more often than not, in the split zone, unless you're using motion, we're not going to have a whole lot of doubles. Go to the tight or the end zone. So, again, box declared play. We're doing a lot of look stuff. Everybody and their mother wants to jump fronts on us. And I think most games of the last 3 years, we've seen odd, even, bear, stack in a game every week. So, again, box declared play side tackle. He's got a play side threat. Play side guard's got a play side threat. So there's no double team. It's solo blocks. The center is uncovered. He should be ducking to 18. We could have a double. We're going to have one here on this 2 technique, a head up 2. We should be doubling to the will linebacker, and the fullback's going to come across and cut this stud defensive end down. Now, it's a good job here by the backside tackle of seeing where the will fits. I do like that, but he also leaves his guard out to dry. This kid ended up playing at Air Force, Jansen Ware, really athletic, but could be difficult to coach at times, and wouldn't know want to do his own thing. So he doesn't get in the overlap at all. And this guard, like I told you before, coach said, he knows I'm going to rip him if he doesn't go jab, crotch, shoulder, and the belly. So this guy hangs him out to dry. So he's freaking out right now. He's like, oh, crap, I'm by myself. And look who folds and makes the tackle. It's the 3 technique or 2 technique. So it's one little thing not doing your job, but we're backed up. We just need to get 4 yards. I think we end up getting 6. A team we hadn't beat. Good football play. Okay, so now our zone lead plays. Again, here's the same team. Now they're in an odd structure. We like zone lead, or I like zone lead, whether it's going to be to the strong side with the H-back, fullback, or to the weak side, and then throw RPOs off of these guys against odds. Now, what changes with our inside zone against the odd? Really nothing but the backside tackle. So our center would come out here. ID this front is odd. We ID is odd because the guards are uncovered. So now I know that now my guard and tackle should be working a double team to the Mike. The center and the backside guard should be working a double team to the Will. And then our backside tackle will make a call to everybody saying that I'm man-to-man on this man. I've got him. We'll RPO this man in this particular, because it's a strong side inside zone lead. The H-back, fullback now has the Sam linebacker. Nothing else changes for anybody else. Really good movement deployment. That they stunt late. You can see it from the end zone here in a second. You see it from the end zone. He's lined up almost a 4-eye to start pre-snap. He slides head up. He's going to spike. This guy works, and they kind of make a pile of crap in the B gap and the A gap, and the mic doesn't fit well. Again, look, Temple, I apologize. I was up in the box at this point calling plays and being the O-line coach. Talk about that being real fun. Rely on somebody else to fix your problem on the sideline. You can see the tackle, the right tackle is trying to get his shoulder in the belly. That guy spikes away. We always talk about that double team always could become a solo. drill the crap out of it. Great job of pressing it. Their linebacker fits very poorly. Back sees it, presses it front side. Really good job on the backside. Watch the left guard and the left tackle duck walk into the the wheel linebacker. Backside 4 cutoff. Beautiful job. I don't like that the tackle shuffles, but I'm telling you, this guy's as an 8th grader, he was the anchor on the 4x1 in one of our middle schools. So super athletic kid. Can get away with some things. But again, positive run. I like the zone leads. Now here, again, I'm in the box. This is going to the left now. Same strong side inside zone lead. We have it. That's the fullback's working. I didn't explain the rule. I did it poorly. Let me go back to that real quick. Our rule for that H-back, he has 4 from the ball. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how he knows where to go. So again, that's why I like it out of the odd structure. It's a very clear picture for them. And if I had made the call where it was 4 week, he'd go 4 week. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple for them to identify. This kid's a genius. He's going to work in the refineries and make more money than all of us and laugh all the way to the bank. Okay, so I'm in the box. We're doing look tempo. To me, it looks like an odd structure. Hard to tell. That guy's a shade and a 3, not a 4 in the box, and we have a 12,000-seat stadium. I'm 30 stories. We're on the coastal plains of Texas, 20 miles from the Gulf, and it's flat as crap. We're probably the tallest building in 3 counties. And, it's very difficult to see. I screw it up. I screw up all the time. I depend so much on the kids to tell me, hey, coach, this. So clear. Look at that picture right there. You got a 3 technique. We really should be running split zone here. Work here, double team to the mic, sift for the will, go cut off the backside. So we should be doing, but I'm an idiot. I screw it up. We end up not even being able to get to the will. The back does a great job. So right here, play side tackle does a great job of knowing what we were trying to do when we were calling this particular play. The fullback knows he's going to 4. That's 4. Still 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're good there. These two do a great job of communicating to the mic. Where we can't get there is the backside, and it's the center's fault because to really think we can get this thing done when he's going to run over the top, it's not going to happen. He grabs and holds the hell out of the center. The center rocks back, thinking that he's got that thing vertical, and he runs over here. There's no way. If you step that way, you're going to get that guy. But a great job by the back of just pressing it vertical. But it really starts with the play side tackle, the play side guard, pressing that thing and getting to the mic. Make that will run over the crap. And I don't know about y'all, but we run a lot of buck sweep. We don't even push with the will anymore because we make the will just run over all the shit, and we'll get 5 or 6. Same exact thing here. I think it happens like 2 or 3 times in this game. We hadn't shown buck going into it. We actually got ran down the backside by number 14, that stud. Okay, this is Duncanville this season. Now we have an odd structure. We're actually going to spit the RPO out to Ace and Theus. 3-star stud receiver, runs like 10-4. He was on 2 relays that broke national records. We were mostly a 10P team at Duncanville. We just have freakazoids everywhere. But what we have here on the zone lead play is it's an odd structure. We're going to have a push call where the play side tackle and guard are not going to push over to here. It's odd structure, okay? There's our mic. These guys are communicating, hey, push. We're coming to here. That now pushes the double team to the mic. The fullback has 4 from the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes across. We spit it out because we got numbers. But it's blocked very, very well. And I'm very proud of the communication we had, not only by where the H-back is going, but also the front side plus call. So you see the tackle communicating right there. 2 very different ways of coaching at Duncanville and Port Neches. At Duncanville, we had very little indie time. Coach Samples wanted group settings, and we did it a lot, and it really helped these kids communicate. But compared to Port Neches, where I had 30 minutes to an hour of walkthrough every day during the athletic block, and I had a 40-minute indie time where I could just Nolan Richardson's 40 minutes of hell. I don't know if you all remember old school Arkansas basketball. That's how I take my indie time. I'm gonna get after your butt. But we didn't have that luxury at Duncanville because of our schedule. And but our kids were able to learn this way. And you have to be able, as an old line coach, to adapt to what your head coach wants. Great job by the backside tackle staying locked on the end. Really good movement at the point of attack. Could have handed it to another. This is Joe McKinney, a sophomore, also another kid on those freak relay teams we have at Duncanville. But you can see right there as to why we threw that ball to that cat. Ran a lot of outside zone with him too this year. Just makes me look really smart. Okay, now our zone inserts. The hardest job for our zone insert stuff is going to be the guard. The backside guard has to understand, am I in the zone or am I on the man side? So in this particular look, it's an even front. We're going to push all the way to 0. This is Elijah Barnes, one of the best linebackers in the country, going to Texas. So we're going to full zone, same rules for everybody as we talked about before, box declare play. The only rule now is on the backside, I'm locked. Now this is our pup sophomore tackle. He didn't get a lot. He ends up being a guard for us later throughout he's a starting guard throughout the playoffs. So he didn't step with the inside foot first unless this tackle come inside of him, which is a cardinal sin of a man. The fullback here, stepping through the B gap. The will by formation is misaligned, but we got their butt, but he still does a great job of stepping in the B gap and getting vertical. I know if Coach Fitzhenry watches this, he's going to be mad at me saying, oh, we're just position blocking. The right guard, the center, the left guard are all just position blocking these guys and walling them up the field. Well, get to the end zone. This Barnes kid, who's a freak, he's like 6'5", 240, runs a 4.4, 4.5. Anytime they aligned in a 3 technique and he was stacked, they were gonna slant. He was gonna slant here. He was gonna slant here in the back here. So yes, are we position blocking? Are we just shielding and knocking them out of the way? We are. But end of the day, football is not played on a whiteboard. It's played by human beings who make errors. So it's a really good job of having our eyes up on our stances and communicating. You see right here, watch the tackle on this clip. You can see a little better right here. The tackle, the right tackle 70 does not step with the inside foot first, and that lets that zone to him. He's going to take the B gap. It's what people do. Doesn't have his eyes up, but just a good football play there. Again, Joe McKinney, sophomore, going to be a real special back. Hopefully that Caden Durham, the kid playing at LSU we had. All right, again, same side inside zone. This is Waxahachie. Just down there this morning at the gun range, having a good time. Beautiful part of the Metroplex. Again, even front structure here, so we should have solo blocks across the board. Solo block, duck to the mic. Again, backside guard is going to be insert to the left. Same side. He's going to be vertical right through the B gap. He has the trouble. Do I have an inside threat or am I on the man side? Well, he's got an inside threat, so he's now got to zone him. And not always easy against a 2-eye for a guard. Let it run. Again, I don't like the backside tackle step with his play side foot first. Step with the inside foot first. He gets lucky because the back is to him. And the left tackle, this is early in the season. And Duncanville not very they ran some inside zone prior to me getting here. They had been a lot more GY counter, a lot of pin and pull stuff. They ran some outside zone as well. So to get really good at the inside zone, which we were pretty dang good at the end of the year, pretty proud of where we got to. 67 get himself a pancake here. That's all they would text me was cakes. Okay, bud. I don't care. Do we win? Good job by the center. He's a little bit too laissez-faire. Hands down by his knees. I don't like that. I actually want him to step on the toes of that mic. But great movement by the guards. H-back pull, working left. Even though he's working left, he's still on the right side of the formation, so he should strike right. I don't like his feet at all. Again, zone insert, just like split zone and that cab play, the duo-ish type play. I like those to even front structures. Not a massive fan of insert because of the slant. You can guess wrong and the fullback can get caught up. Nonetheless, good football play. All right, now we're going to come across the formation. So it's insert to the right. So we're running inside zone to the right. We're going to insert the H-back on 33. So we should be full zone here all the way to 2. Box declared play. Again, here's the puppet tackle. Actually late in the game and got our backup quarterback in. But, again, give your kids all the time. These two right here communicated. based upon what they were doing, they felt that the guard needed to go to number 2 and the center would block the 3. Would I do that on a whiteboard? Hell no. But the guy slants, and the guard does a great job of working and ducking to the mic. I don't like the left guard at all. Hops a lot. That was a bad habit he had. He came to us shot from the moon. He came to us mid-season from defense, but eventually bought in and did a great job for us, spelling guys and playing. But he shuffles down the line. When you shuffle and you click your heels, and there's any kind of movement, you're toast. There's no way you're going to be able to press that thing vertical. And we talk all the time, when our down blocks, that guy's going to try to cross face and get back in his gap. He's going to swap hats with you. And when you click your heels and shuffle like this on the line of scrimmage, there's no way you're going to handle any movement. I love the left tackle here. Step with the inside foot first. Protect that guy. He keeps running inside the big gap. He just presses the vertical. Now you watch our H-back here, his path. Anytime we're going to come across the formation, whether it's GH counter or zone insert coming across the formation, we take the same path to allow ourselves to read how it's being played. We want to be square as long as we can and see what happens. And it's a great job here. This is another kid that came from the defensive side of the ball about week 6, played defensive end for us. Ryan Hodge, a great young man, played Division II football, I think, at Northeast Oklahoma. Pull left, strike left. He's more nose to nose, which on the insert stuff, I'm okay with. I'm okay with them inserting on the will and the mic nose to nose. But great physical run here by Joe. Be fast, Joe. Be fast, Joe. See if there's anything else we could talk about in this play. No, good stuff. So zone insert. One more time coming across the formation now. Again, box declared play. All of our zone should be working to the mic, full zone. Our backside guard, am I in the zone or am I locked? I have an A-gap threat, so I know I'm in the zone. The center is going to be really lazy right here, but because of the physicality, our H-back coming across and inserting and keeping that will linebacker inside, he really blocks 2. This is Mesquite Horn, also just a gorgeous football team to look at. We're pretty damn big at Duncanville, but you see Mesquite Horn across the field, you're like, that's a big team. A lot of large humans over there in Mesquite, Texas. The tackle's almost influence blocking. On the left side, not a huge fan of that. But just to get him to press it vertical, I can dig it. Again, football's not played on a whiteboard, played by human beings. See how the end zone's terrible. Sorry. Had some end zone problems all year. That was real fun for the guys in the booth or in the box with huddle silent. Let me tell you, when that thing craps, the whole thing goes down. But I hate the center here. Just like the kid, he looks like he's trying to gallop. And I will let the center. A little side note: I'll let my center gallop and knock a 1 over to a 3 because I'm not really crazy at times of the center getting into the overlap on the guard because of the levels they're on. And that's just trial and error. They're watching kids and listening to kids like, Coach, I can't get there. I hate this. I try to get an overlap. Now I'm now 4 yards in the backfield. So that's fine. If you think you can gallop, and this guy was elite. If I show you some drill tape, which I won't tonight, I'll send anything you guys want. I got tons of drill tape. He's an elite galloper. But good physical run on the zone insert. One more in cross. Okay, so now our power. So that was all of our 11P variations of inside zone with a fullback off of the line of scrimmage. And people want to say sniffer set, whatever have you. Now, all the power clips are going to be PNG video. Duncanville, we don't run the power. We're an inside zone team. We're a 10P team. Coach Samples wants to keep Duncanville within the framework of what they do. We had played with some power early on. We just didn't have the H-back, fullback body who could go beat on the end. So in 6A, the league we play in, we're seeing defensive ends going to Texas and Texas Tech and Florida State every week. And the amount of abuse that young man will take, this is like a third fullback we went through. And I talked earlier about strength and conditioning. It's just, it's sprained ankles. It's broken hands. There's things that the violence of running power gets you. But again, same presentation. What I love about this play, is all the things that go on here. You're going to have a twist on the backside. They're going to have a slant here to a 3 technique. So let me start over. Our rules on the power. Okay, again, box declared play. Throw all of our RPOs off of it, off of Sam's and Will's. Only time that Sam walks up, we're going to think some type of I call it a Stanford blitz. It's what our defense called it in college, or a saw blitz is coming. We're going to expect spike, and the fullback will just press it one more. The tackle will collect that guy. Very similar ilk to our inside zone. So again, center will come out. 10 is the mic. 10 is the mic. Now our play side tackle will start the communication. We're going to communicate our double team back to the will. Now this guy's an A-gap player. You're saying, Coach, there's no double team. It's down blocks. Absolutely. But you're still going to gallop because this guy can freaking move. And we're not playing beer can defense at the tavern at a coaching clinic talking about this crap. This is people moving in real time. So you're going to see that really a beautiful job of them collecting it. Fullback should be, there's a great video if you have a chance. It's Coach's Choice, Tyler Roll. Does a great job of talking about fullback and tight end play when they were at NDSU. Talk about guys who run the power. Don't get any better than North Dakota State. All right. And we also stole the way they shuffle pull with our guards. So our guard will shuffle pull for the Mike linebacker, and then we're going to gap hinge, meaning we have a call where we have a 3 technique here. We're going to punch the 3 so the center can get back, and then we're going to vice and get out on that 5 technique. So a lot of things are going to happen here. You're going to get this twist on the backside, and let's watch the end zone first, because you really can see this. The tackle is covered up by 10 is going to spike. He spikes to the B gap after the motion. Great job by the tackle, hitting him in the hip, and then he used out the linebacker. Coach McNally talks about maybe not as best of you out as you can get, but for a sophomore playing in the 4th round of Texas High School State playoffs in 5A Division II, that's pretty damn good. Really good football player. Guard exactly. Skip pulls around. I like that his eyes are down in his stance, but he's going to pull right. He's going to strike right. Lets the back be very patient. And then the safety's making the call. But let's watch that backside twist. Beautiful job. Now, they had shown this a lot on film. That's why we motioned. We knew we were going to get this a lot. So we split up our gap runs. I take the doubles, and our H-back coach and tight end coach, as well as our other offensive line coach, they work all the backside pulls and how they're going to fit that stuff all week. And we just drill the crap out for 20 minutes every day. Again, 40 minutes of hell. But beautiful job. I don't like how the center clicks his heels as he goes to collect the 5 right there. But at least he tries to press him vertical. Maybe because we have a little grab of the jersey. I wouldn't call that a hold. But good football play there by that right guard, right tackle. All right, now we're just going to line up, run the power. Now, if we were to snap the football here, all doubles will be off. Treat it just like a bare front. We'll block down the mic. We'll block down here. We'll end up pulling for the will. And we'll get out the door. It doesn't happen. They end up moving. But again, fullback left, right, left. I don't like it as he false steps. The will linebacker hangs backside, so allows our tackle who's being a lazy you-know-what, not hitting the tackle in the hip as he should. He gets his hands on the hip. And we added that this year. I got that in 2023. Alex Atkins did a great job speaking at the Cool Clinic about his power and how they added the hands to the hip. And I was always against it. I thought they'd turn their shoulders, which he does in this clip. But it really does help. I like it a lot. And those guys got fired. You probably think I'm insane to quote Florida State. That's my favorite team. But beautiful job here, getting movement at the point of attack. But it's all about the right guard shuffle, pulling, pull left, strike left, full back, left, right, left, strike left, be violent. Thing of beauty. This kid, I think he scored like 5 touchdowns in 2 seasons at NRG. He's probably the biggest Houston Texans fans you've ever seen. We're waiting for a cryo appointment one day, and him and our receiver coach are just spouting off random Houston Texans. It was hilarious. That little guy like him is a massive fan, and I think he ran for 4,000 yards in 2 seasons. All right, now we'll see the stack. Side note: this is Port Neches Groves versus Nederland. It's probably the greatest rivalry in the state of Texas. As a coach, it's a pain in the ass. Everyone's worried about both of these communities. Parents work in the refineries. Okay. If you ever have a chance, get to Mid-County Madness. It is old school Texas high school football. 20,000 people losing their minds, two massive bands. I'm telling you, now this game is played in 5 inches of rain. And my boy Joe Wilcox up in Iowa City, Iowa, gave me the greatest rain plan known to man of how to manage footballs, and we didn't have a single problem. We were down, had to throw the ball to win this late. It was because of his ball plan. But get yourself, when you retire from coaching, take your wife to Nederland or Port Neches, Texas, and go watch this football game because it is outstanding. Okay, so on the stack we treat, it's an odd front structure but an even front rule. Easiest thing I remember was I was in college. I was the film data entry guy. I was my side job in the football office. It was my, well, what do you call that? Work study. Me and my dearest friend Tyler Stick, now the head coach there. That was our job. He was a GA and I was a quarterback, and he talked and I data entered. And I just remember watching Luther College run a 3-3 stack early 2000s. This guy's a glorified 3 technique. That's all he is. So we're going to have our double working back to the will. The tackle will work to the mic, and we'll pull for the Sam. Real easy stuff. I don't like the path of the fullback. I don't like that he false steps and he strikes that guy nose to nose. I don't have an end zone, and the tight sucks because, again, we're playing with 5 inches of rain in 2 hours. It was insane. The field was bubbling up like 4 feet in the air. It was nuts. But the guard, he pull right, strike right, and he's able to knock the fullback into it, and then the mic doesn't, or the Sam doesn't fit very well. And we hand the ball to that fullback because we're on our third tailback because there's some banged up ankles. And he gets in. His uncle ended up being the head coach at Nederland when we played this game. So 260-pound full tailback running the ball. Thing of beauty. Yeah, that's a terrible clip. All right, there's some variations we saw. Again, we talked about saw blitz. You can really see it from the end zone here. This is a mic front to us, so one backer box. Idea as a mic front. They got double A gap. We knew when they went double A gap with the head up 4, the prevalence of saw blitz was very high. So just like we talked about box declared play, the tackle is alert right here that this guy's going to spike B, and the fullback's going to continue on his path and kick out the end. Excuse me. And then we'll pull for the mic, piss on the will, gap hinge the 4 technique. Really good job here. Tackle collects it. I'm not crazy about the guard. Could the guard have pulled right, strike right? Could the ball have hit here? Yeah, doesn't matter. This safety here, 17, is a freak of nature. Probably 6'3", 215 pounds. Got 6-pack with his jersey rolled up, looking cool. I wish I could have looked that cool when I played. I had a beer belly when I was a Division III quarterback. Dad bought it at 22. But communication, kids being coachable. I hate the mesh here. Excuse me, need some water. All right, one more adjustment here on the 11P powers. Our quarterback was struggling for whatever reason. We had been a real big passing team the year prior when I was an assistant. Took over as OC. We went to be more run team and more RPOs. Excuse me. So he was struggling to see it. So the Sam's making a play. H-back coach up in the box like, Coach, what if we double to the mic, pull for the Sam, piss on the will, just like we did with saw blitz? Sure, Coach. The adjustment we had to make was a zone double here by the right guard, right tackle. So you can see there's not going to be a gallop here. It's going to be more of a jab crotch, overlap with more of a vertical double. That's the kids being coachable on the sideline, and nobody else knew the wiser. There it is. See it from the end zone. You can see the technique of the right guard, right tackle. That's a zone double all day long. Now, there's no different than the duo play I was showing you from 2024 at Duncanville this year. We always talk as pulling guards. Seeing our one-back power coming up next. Our guard, as you pull through, you better hit color. You better knock something off. Don't just run through there. And this kid's 307 pounds, strong as an ox. He pulls. He knocks that fullback over, gets the play, and we hand the ball to Ichabod Crane, the 6'4" tailback, now playing tight end at UTSA, Shea Adams. Tough hombre. Okay, so that's all of our 11P stuff with the fullback off the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get into our 11P stuff with the tight end on the line of scrimmage. When you don't have a fullback in the game, there's not a lot you can do. You can run one back power. Now, to me, one back power, you can do it with an inline tight end, but that guy's got to be able to, you better be a Sam Laporta, a George Kittle, be able to block a 7 technique if you want to run power. Or you can run inside zone lock at the RPO, which is what we're going to do. You see 9, 2, and 1. Well, number 1 is the number 1 receiver in the nation going to Oregon. Number 2 is Asen Theus. He has Clemson or TCU, and that's the number 1 tight end in the country. He was so valuable, we played him on the outside quite a bit. So we're going to run zone lock here to the left. We're going to throw RPO off of this man. If he widens, we're going to hand the thing off. I don't like right here, you're going to see the play side. It's the same rules as before. All we're going to add is now we're going to have a double team between the play side tackle and the tight end working to the force player. Now, is it a corner based upon defensive alignment? These 3x1 nub sets, everybody in America plays them different. We got a pretty standard look because of the freaks we have out here. Again, these are just the 3 best receivers I've ever seen. I mean, it's unbelievable. So the guard should be the left guard should be zone. We'll have a good end zone clock here. I don't like the path of the tight end and the tackle because this guy's going to fold inside. See how tackle's running out there? He should take a step with his eyes vertical, and the second that guy works out, he should be ducking vertical right now. Again, this is early in the season, getting him used to my coaching. The way we did things a little bit different than what they've done in the past. That's okay. But they did a great job, and they got better as the season went on. I love the double team here. This guy was a dude. 0, absolute dude. Great double team. He's in the gap. So hopefully this doesn't rock back. He's just a lazy you-know-what, and the guy comes to him. But the guard does a great job of pressing it vertical. Tackle influence blocks. We didn't teach that. But he's a football playing Jesse. He makes plays. Good, tough physical run. That's first to even front. End zone. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we'll see it versus an odd structure. This is the Woodlands, one of the best odd teams in the state. But I coached at Port Neches Groves. Port Neches Groves head coach is Jeff Joseph. His dad is Gary Joseph at Katy High. This defense came from Katy High. What defense do you think we played? The Katy High 3-4. So we saw the slant 3-4. So this was old hat to me. We're actually running inside zone to the right. I know it looks like it's inside zone to the left, but it's inside zone to the right. And the H-backs are full tight ends on the line of scrimmage. Nothing changes. Box declared play. Double team to the Mike, double team to the Will. We're both making a call to say we're locked over here. Now, the biggest thing about this play is going to be the ability. Well, this is inside zone to the left. I'm sorry, because watch the right guard. The left guard just being a jackass doing his own thing. That's a sophomore. Is this backside 4 technique. As they slant, what this defense tries to do, and I would challenge you all as coaches to try to learn as much about defense as possible. Spend so much time in the offseason, go and listen to defensive coaches talk. Hell, go sit in the defensive staff meeting. Don't say a word, sit on the wall and listen. But what these guys are trying to do, they're trying to static flow everything and be a free hitter on the backside. Well, luckily, this guy, he kind of stands there, and we're able to get the ball and puncture it, and he fits wrong, and there's nobody in the C gap for it. And their full player makes the play. And thank the good Lord Keelan doesn't spit the ball out there. But again, nothing changes. The same look as if we were in the H-back off running a zone lead play. Exact same play. Nothing new teaching, just now the guy's on the line of scrimmage. But great movement at the point of attack and an odd structure out of our zone lock. And don't need to go over the rules, same rules as before. Okay, so now again, the advantage of not having as much anytime but having more group time is now the back, they're going to have a free hitter. This game was played in an absolute quagmire in the 4th round of the playoffs down in Waco. Poured all day. So with the tailback and the tailback's coach, and then the tight end's always with us, we were able to let them know, hey, if we hand this ball off and you press it front side, we can't block that corner for you, bud. But everything else is going to be just fine. Again, box declared play. We're going to be locked on the backside. We have a double team to the Will, a double team to the Mike, and we're locked on our front side with a tight end. Really good job at the point of attack by the right tackle, right guard. That's what we in this structure. I want to see you slant to a 4-eye. to the zone of the play. That makes my doubles easy. If they slant it away, then I have this trouble on the backside getting this guy, and that's the biggest problem of inside zone versus the odd structure slant, in my opinion, is this backside B-gap player. It's a good job by the left guard throwing a hand. He doesn't come to him. Duck vertical to the Mike linebacker. And the back doing a great job being strong. I don't have an end zone there. But nothing changes. All right. So that's inside zone lock versus odd and even with the end line tight end. Now our one-back power. Again, now we're playing West Orange Star, the winningest program in the state of Texas history. They win 80% of their games. Tough as nails, physical, violent football team. Our quarterback, that kid 19, he was quarterback this year, breaks his foot in the first quarter. This is our backup. Take us to a state championship. And we're pulling our eyes out. We're down by 14, I think, at this point. And we were running shallow cross out of this set. And I kept saying, are you seeing a 9 technique? Two backers in the box. Yes, coach. Yes, coach. Well, sure enough, he lines up in a 7. I'm like, we're going to run one-back power. We're in one-back power, and we're going to get our typical double team to the will. This guy's a 7. Well, luckily, we made this fullback. He was a tackle his entire career. Tackle, but he played soccer, had good feet. So, hey, we can play inline tight end. He can play some fullback for us. Well, he can base the 7. All right, we're still going to pull for the Mike, gap hinge. It's a really good football play here. Great job by the double team. Again, we hadn't shown this formation a whole lot. I'm a big fan of that, of changing formations, though. The Bill Belichick mindset of, chameleon offense. Run the power, run the inside zone, but do that out of a million different looks. We hadn't shown, pro twins a lot. But great double team. I don't like that the left guard brings his left hand to it, or right guard brings his left hand to it. But nonetheless, they get vertical movement on 51. Eyes on 8. He snaps off. Talked earlier about the guard shuffle pulling, running through some color. Luckily, 14 doesn't fit it right because why? We hadn't ran power all year out of this set. So they haven't fit it. They're kids. Football is, not played by cyborgs. Backs it up nicely, and there he goes. All 5'7", 160 pounds. And you get a horse collar at the end. Let's watch the tight view. See the movement at the point of attack. But when you change formations on people and you adjust in game, people aren't going to know how to fit everything. But if you run the inside zone, you run the power, whatever it is you do it out of multiple looks, you're going to have an advantage. All right, now they give us the look we thought we would see. Right here, got a 9 technique. So we're going to base that 9. We're going to double back to the will, number 8. We're going to choke onto the nose. Pull for 14, gap hinge on the end. Nothing changes. So if we ran power with him right here, no different than him being on the line of scrimmage. As long as we got a 9 technique. Not crazy versus a 6 or a 7, but sometimes you got to make hay. Really good double team. Again, they're not seeing it well because they hadn't seen this set. And for whatever reasons, teams down in the Houston, Southeast Texas area, and even when we played sock in the state championship, when they have end line tight end sets, they don't see the gap run as well. I don't like how the left or the right guard pulls. He pulls left and strikes right, stops his feet. But again, the back's path and staying in the A gap. Great job by the guard snapping off on the will. Another big gain. Another big gain on a one-back power. Okay. Last couple things on end line tight end sets. Some tackle over stuff. This is Fort Bend Marshall. They're number 2 in the state, and we're playing. We win this game 7-0. I felt like I was in a 1997 Big Ten game. It was a slobber knocker, just physical, violent football. They have freaks everywhere. I think one's going to A&M, 16's going anywhere like Florida State or something, 2, 12. They're just loaded everywhere. The previous year, and we're going to see it later on in our 21 personnel clip, they struggled with our power base play. Our power base play is where we base the tight end with a 9 technique, just like we showed you, but we do that out of a 21 personnel set. So we're thinking, how can we get to it? And I personally believe that even front teams struggle with tackle over. I think odd front teams can do things structurally. These guys either have to bump the front, which they didn't do, so we had their butt. And you're going to see it. This is an inside zone clip. We'll start with inside zone again, but We want two good double teams to 11, double team to 6. Nothing changes rule-wise. He starts the call, zone base. I have a call, double team to 11. I have a call, double team. I'm locked. And you have two really good looks with two different doubles. So on the front side here, 11 is going to spike in the B gap. So we go to work that half power, that double team. 11 spikes. Guard does a great job of snapping off. 11 was a very, very good football player. I know he's small in stature. He had beat our butt in the 4th game of the season in 2022. They beat us. We had to come back and beating them in the state quarterfinals. We lost state to Sock that year. But and on the backside, it's a pretty common theme with these two pretty damn good football players, 57 and 52. Getting that half power, delivering that 3 technique to the will linebacker, and the guard, the back. Our OC Jason Lavender always talks about at Duncanville, the back needs to deliver the double team for the lineman. And he does a great job. He presses it front side, and cuts it back late. Beautiful play. I don't like Jackson Christian here, my right tackle, who's going to Texas. Happy birthday today, Jackson. If you're watching this, I doubt you are. Unless you have any common sense, you're not. You're partying with your girlfriend or something cool. I don't like that he leans. His feet are all over the place. He's just a massive human being. Okay, so now we'll run our one-back power. Again, treat this guy just like an inline tight end. He's going to base the 9 technique. Should have a great double team, back to the will, choke back on the 1, pull for the mic, gap hinge. They're going to adjust. They see it late. Okay, we got their butt. Great double team. See how he hits the hip? Beautiful job of the right tackle hitting the hip. Now, again, these guys struggle, whatever reason. When we were in our open sets, when we had like sniffer power, these 11 and 16 were flying over the top like kamikazes. It was unblockable. And they logged the ends, logged the piss out of it. The ball bounces an unblocked guy. You want to gouge your eyeballs out. But a great job of jab crotch by the right guard. Right tackle's going to hit the hip, knock the man over. Guard shuffle pulls, fits up 16, and their safety's making the tackle. Again, 0 is the football play, and these guys were everywhere. Division I kids everywhere on that defense. We got 2. We got the 2 tackles, and that's it. And a bunch of guys are going to go work in the oil refineries and make more money than all of us. All right, now we get a same one-back power out of an unbalanced set, but now we're going to log it. There's something on Twitter. We don't teach the log. We drill it, but it happens organically. Meaning, I don't think that you can ask a fullback or a guard who's going to go kick out an end, and then the second puller to try to decipher all this crap. I think you got to knock that thing vertical as best you can. If you can kick it out, great. If you can't, knock it vertical, and the second puller will make you right. And that's what happens right here. I don't like him pre-snap. We did a study after this game about stances. My grandmother, she knows that guy's pulling by his stance, so we had to get that fixed. But you see from the end zone in a second, this end now is going to crash into a 7 technique. Well, this guy's going to wall him down. He'll shuffle, pull around it, pull for the mic. Same rules. Violent physical run by our junior tailback, Butter Satania, right there. I don't like how the left guard here is going to fall down. We didn't have the kid I said earlier. Coach said Mario Miguel. He had some cramping issues. Kid lost so much water. We had to limit his practice reps. He didn't play this week. But, Jack gets a lot of movement at the point of attack. Base the hell out of that 9 technique. Guard makes it right. Beautiful football versus the law. Okay. So that's all of our 11P stuff, whether it's inline tight end tackle over, or then predominantly we want to be in that 20 personnel or 11 personnel with a sniffer. Now our other stuff is 21 personnel. This is going to be very duo-ish, this particular play. In my mind, Larry Zerline's a good friend of mine. They ran the Pittsburgh Steelers. They ran duo and ran inside zone. And duo, the end has the tackle, the tight end has the end, the fullback has the sand. That's the rule. And everybody else works their double teams back. Now, I like this. the 21 personnel version versus the odd, because like I said earlier, this guy should walk up and we should just push it and just wash a piece of humanity, and the back should hit it. Well, they don't walk up for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because we have a freak of nature receiver over there. They don't want to throw RPO. Makes no sense because he's pressed, so the RPO is off. All they can do is fade you up. But we're plus one here. We have an extra hitter with our fullback, and it's why we score. But tackle doesn't see this guy walk up, so there's no push. So now we're double team vertical to the Mike. We're double team vertical to the Will. And then for whatever reason, the tight end in both clips I'm going to show you, it's probably because he's so terrified I'm going to scream at him on the sideline for not cutting off that 4 technique. But we end up getting a triple team on that 4. Oops, sorry, boys. Get a triple team on this 4 technique. Fullback has the Sam, very duo-y. And we get a lot of movement. That kid was a hell of a football player. 95. And he's probably about 6'6", 6'5", 260 pounds, 270 pounds. He had a hell of a game against us up to this point. But beautiful movement at the point of attack. Great job by the left guard snapping off. And we walk in. So again, same rules as our inside zones before. It's that cab play or duo play. It's one where I'd probably say y'all are right. It is duo, absolutely. Now we're running to the left. It's actually this is the previous play. I don't know why I have them interchanged. But again, we thought this guy would walk up. And this is DeCorian Moore, number 1 receiver in the country. So I'm going to put people out there too. He doesn't walk up. There's no push. So we're going to double team to the Mike. We're going to double team to the Will. And then again, tight end should be here, and we should be +1. But again, this kid, great young man, Armand Walton, love him to death. But he did get his butt chewed quite a bit, but he was a great kid, and he wanted to prove to be right. And so he knows like hell he's going to go get that guy cut off. And great job by the back, just staying in the A gap. I don't have an end zone because it was raining. I don't like that the left guard or the right guard here is just catching. Antoine Brantley had a great year for us. Should be an all-state kid, FCS type football player. But just violent physical football. Get double teams, knock them backwards. Okay, now we are going to push it here. This is really a beautiful job on the backside here. He says by depth and demeanor, this guy walks up, we're going to make a push call. I think you see him talking pre-snap. See him yelling? I had screamed at him that week, you have got to talk. So he's turning and yelling. Great job to Sean Bryant going to Arizona State. Communicates the push. We run everything. I love the double team by the center and the right guard. We work. Not only do we work the half power technique in the overlap, we also work a rip technique in our doubles on our zones where we're going to be a little bit wider with our aiming points. We do it a lot on our split zone stuff versus a backside A gap threat where we got to get to the mic. We're going to work and we're going to rip through that shoulder. It's kind of a mid-zone technique, but it's stuff we rep all the time. Do a beautiful job of getting to the mic on that one. Watch the tight end and the right tackle. That is athletic as hell. And they're trying to static flow it. This linebacker, he static flows. This guy doesn't, so they're down a gap. Again, not a lot of 21 personnel show by the Panthers in 2024. We were a 11P, mostly 10P team all year long, chucking and ducking because we just had dudes everywhere, and the number 2 quarterback in the country in Keelan Russell. But wonderful job here by the tight end. Great step. Look at that. He gains ground, gets his face mask, and presses it vertical. Face mask to the play side, breastplate, presses it vertical. Tackle super athletic, getting inside. Luckily, that guy fits outside. And the ball is gone. Wonderful job, men. Very proud of that. The Woodlands, their head coach is an O-line guy. I didn't know they were doing it until the next day. I sit next to our linebacker coach, Roderick Harris, who's going to be a great head coach one day. They were running some wham stuff like it was out of this world and kicking our butt. Not to degrade our staff, but just saying that that's something I'm going to look into this year. That's my study, is going to be getting better at outside zone and getting better at the whams and traps out of the gun, on top of learning more defensive stuff. But again, we push this one. Beautiful job by the center and the guard. I will say, on inside zone, I firmly believe one of your best linemen has to be your center. But to be a good inside zone team, you have to have a great center. If your center stinks, you can't run the inside zone. I'm sorry if that's offensive, but it's what I believe. All right, now we're in our split zone world. Again, we like split zone to an even front. Try not to call split zone to an odd front. Nothing changes. Box declared play. They walk up the Sam. Tight end tackle. You got to communicate how we're going to get there. Same path through the heels of the guard. Pull left, strike left. So I should have some type of communication working from the end to the Sam. We're going to solo block the 3. I should be ducking to the Mike. I should be solo the nose. I'm going to sift through to the will. Fullback's going to cut off the backs. Nothing revolutionary. What I don't like is the path of the fullback. He's too deep. Pull left, strike left. And he strikes with his right. Luckily, the guy's a little bit slower twitch. This is his first round of playoffs against Temple. This is actually one of the top-ranked defensive end in the country in the class of 2027. He's a sophomore. But super athletic by the left tackle. I don't know why he's in a 2-point. We may have been trying to go 2-minute here. I'm not sure. Doesn't make sense to be 2-minute on 21 personnel, does it, man? But nonetheless, he gets the job done. That's, sometimes Deshaun would come say it to me on the side. Coach, can I use 2-point? Absolutely, dude. That's what you got to do to get it done. I don't give a crap. Just don't do it running past. Don't have a different stance. But good physical run by the back or being quick up the middle with a midline track. Not the best of end zone. But good job by the left guard pressing it. Hand to an all-district back. Okay. Another split zone look. Now, a solid front to me. This is also a very common thing we see is a 9, a 5, and a 3. A solid front. So we should be solos across the board. That's the Mike. Personally, I would have called him Mike, but I'm fine. That's Mike. So then that's the Will. Fullback through the heels of the guard. Going to cut off this man here. So it should be solo blocks across the board. You can see by the center and the tackle, the center and right tackle, the ID wasn't real clear here. We were rotating 3 guys at center early in the season to figure out who was going to be the guy. And so the communication maybe wasn't the best here, but you can watch their heads, and they got dirty eyes. I don't know where the hell they're going. But I love the fullback, pull right, strike right. And I love that he's square. The more I see things, the more square we can be, the better we are. Left guard getting his butt whooped. Again, this is West Orange Stark. Win 80% of their games since 1980. Some just freaks. Okay. Now our split zone on 21P. We're still bouncing with some. I'm sorry, we've been running that. I apologize. Having a stroke here. Running it away from a tight end. So now we should get a great double team right here by the left guard and the left tackle. Split zone away from you. All the split zone I've shown has been to the tight end. This is now away from the tight end. You're going to arc to the force player, and we're gonna wham or cut off the C gap player. Again, heels through the guard. See if he does it. Sorry, it's so deep. NFL stadiums are camera guys up in the rafters. A little hesitant. But again, the tight end sets, for whatever reason, gives people problems. They see this guy expand. He slows down. Beautiful. Sorry, folks. All right. Should be jab crossed by the left guard, shoulder in the belly. Everybody else is solo across the board. So we should be ducking to the mic, solo block here, solo block here. The double team needs to be better right here. It's a great job by the tackle of snapping off on the will. But the guard turns. He's turned right there. He's not square. So there's no way as this guy stays and the backer fits back and the tackle has to fit back off of him. A lot of times you expect what? The backer to fit here and the tackle takes over to the 3. That doesn't happen, Mario. Coach said he turns. He can't be square back on the 3 technique. Luckily, the back hits it, and we're in good shape. Okay, our zone lead play. Again, what's the zone lead rule for the tight the fullback? Same as it. Tight. Same as it is. 1, 2, 3, 4 from the ball. Everybody else is the same. It's a box declared play. Odd front. Guards are uncovered. We lock the box. We add a tight end. All you do is you're adding to the front side of your covered zone base. They're cutting the hell out of our center. It's about that tight first. I'm sorry. It was really a beautiful job by the right tackle, just running that 4 technique out of there. This is the state semifinals against Liberty Hill. They do a wonderful job in the slot T. I don't know if you guys who are not from Texas are aware of the slot T. I know there's very regional versions of football, but the slot T is very prevalent in our state, and it is a tough defense or offense to prepare for. As good as anybody is hiding the ball of any offense I've ever seen. But great physical run by the back here. That's all we want to do is get it to the safeties, and you got to do your job, bud. I listen to Troy Aikman. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't give a rip about Aikman. He was talking about Emmitt Smith and being 9-man boxing instead of, I think Joe Buck drives me insane. Was talking about RPOs or something, and he said, "Well, Joe, if I had to RPO every time there was a 9th guy in the box, Emmitt Smith would have never had a rushing yard." So the point is, the back he's got to do his job. And that particular picture he did. All right, now we're running our zone insert, same side zone insert. Again, love it versus the even, not crazy against the odd. They're a gap down. We have 6 guys on the line of scrimmage plus a fullback. They have 6 guys, so I'm not that sharp, but I can figure out 7's more than 6. So we get 2 great double teams, and we got a fullback leading up on the will. Beautiful job here. Again, same thing, box declared play. ID the front is even. There's our mic. First double works to the mic. Second double works to the will. We're +1. We didn't expect this, but it's what happens. Not crazy about the tight ends technique. That puppy dog technique, hopping the leg. Not a massive fan of that. But look at the movement on the nose guard. Great job of them. They're a little bit high. Their feet are together. I'm not crazy about it. But again, just another thing you can do out of 21P. That's shot from the moon as well. Okay. So again, this is Skyline again from earlier. That Elijah Barnes, freak defensive inside linebacker. They'd shown so many fronts, but again, we didn't have a lot of indie time, had a lot of group time, went over all the calls. So we're going to be +1 here because they're actually in an odd structure. You can see it from the end zone. Our guards are uncovered, so it's box declared. There's an outside linebacker he'll work to. We'll zone base. We'll duck to come in vertical, work to the mic, zone base, zone base, zone base. We're going to insert and be +1. You're going to watch the H-back run through the hole. Like, what the hell? I don't know where to go to. See it better from the tight copy. But these guys were jumping fronts all night. It was bare. It was even. It was odd. I mean, it was exotic. It was just nauseating to be the offensive line coach at times. You have to see all this crap. That's with the fullback now coming across the formation as opposed to just inserting same side. And it's a great job by the back of pressing it vertical. I think an inside zone, the really good backs can press things to the front side and cut it back. Alex Gibbs talked, rest in peace, my friend, about wide zone in his presentation. If you watch that old cool clinic presentation, he talks 80% of inside zones in the NFL hitting the backside A gap or backside at all. All right. Now we're running our zone insert coming across the formation, but they're in a 6-1 front. We're going to make a lock call, meaning we have 6 men on our line of scrimmage. They have 6 men. We're going to lock everybody. Fullback, you got to find a way to get through there and get to the mic. So we make a lock call. This is late in the season. We're shuffling guys in. Coach wants to develop some more linemen. Actually got our center playing tackle, got our backup center in. But a great job of communicating. It is a little bit position blocky. I agree 100%. But you know what? Explosive run. And it's a great job of the young men communicating. I love the violence that the H-back arrives at the mic. I like that he stops his feet. The zone insert versus 6-1 look. We have an end zone. A little bit late. Okay, now we get into our powers. Our powers are 21. Again, we didn't run the power at Duncanville. When I was office coordinator at Port Neches Groves, we were power and inside zone, so we ran all this stuff. I feel terrible that I'm even showing PNG film, but I want to show how important I think these two plays marry together, these two personnel sets. Now, this particular look, we're going to make a 7 call. Same rules apply. We talked earlier when it was an 11P. Now we're going to, at the tight end, is going to make a communication to the fullback. If he says 7-7-7, that means this guy's an inside threat. He's going to arc to the force player. If this guy's an inside threat, he'll say outside threat. He'll say 9-9-9. He's going to go block down, kick out the 9 technique. So, but it's kind of, you can see the end zone here. He's a 9 technique. But smart football players, got a cool towel on, probably says something weird. I don't know. He knows as a Sam, I got to arc to this guy. So as he arcs, that's really even going to expand that 9 technique even wider. And now we can left, right, left, strike this guy left, get a great double team all the way back to this Will linebacker. This is the state championship 2023, South Oak Cliff, Kyle Ward, probably one of the best defensive coordinators I've ever had to call plays against. Did it for 2 years, not fun. I was very grateful just to be the offensive line coach when we played them this year at Duncanville, and also to have the receivers that we had. Because you can't throw the ball on them. It's really hard to run the ball on these cats, no doubt about it. So we should have a great double team back to the Will, choke back on the nose, shuffle pull for the Mike, gap hinge. You'll see how the tight end's expansion really helps the fullback. I think the front side double is kind of lazy. I don't like how high Jack is. I see him hitting him on the hip. But again, fullback, pull left, strike left. Right guard, pull left, strike left. We got to play. Center, not crazy about his feet. But again, we talk about if this guy tries to swap hats, just press it vertical and win slow or lose slowly. Gets away with a hold. Luckily, he's got no gloves on with his white hand on a white jersey, so they don't see it. I think we issued black gloves that year. So we would have had it if he had his black gloves on, but a hold. But beautiful job there. We're running the power there with the 7 call. All right, now we make it with the 9 call. We're playing Brenham again. Hard to see. We have no end zone. This is another game of ridiculous amounts of rain. Again, on the coastal plains of Texas, you're going to get a crap ton of rain. A 4-3 look at a 9 technique. So now our double team is going to work all the way back to 2. We're going to pull for 15. Sorry, we're going to pull for 19, And now the tight end is going to work back to 15. It's true old school track blocking of power. This is how I would teach my middle school teams to do things. Block down, block down, block down. Kick out, skip pull. Shuffle pull. And the back's going for 20 yards without being touched. Be faster, Isaiah. Just a myriad of calls. And it's constantly repping this stuff in practice so the kids can have the tools in their tool belt to be problem solvers. We'll add a little motion to it, make people's eyes dirty, make them move. It's a warm night, but we all got hand warm nuts. That's how we keep the ball dry. Got towels in there, no problem. 4 balls a quarter. Change the ball every play. It's expensive. 16 balls was that $2,000. All you athletic directors probably like, not at my team. All right. Now I run into an underfront. Again, this is Texas City. You can see the freaks on the field. They're just Greek gods. Here's that 4-year starter number 2. Thank the good Lord. Whenever we line up in a tight end set, they put in the tight end. So we ran away from him all night long, like 6th grade offense. Put him tight end and go there and just do your thing, bud. Should have a great double team. Now it's a little bit tighter. 8's a 0 Mike. I don't like that. But we're going to double team here to the Mike. We're going to pull for the Will, who is 6. We're going to motion kick out 11. We're going to have a call here to take care of this 3 technique. It's a thing of beauty. Really good job by the tackle. Now, Jack is 120 pounds heavier than that kid. But pull left, strike left. Watch the guard. Pull left, strike left. Beautiful. See the tight copy is a little clearer. Just wanted you to see the structure of the defense. Gallop. See how he pushes the hip. See a little hip push, knocks that guy over, and we torque him over. Beautiful. Pull left, strike left, hit that thing in the A gap. Super patient run. It's a very tough physical football team who has 1 million people in the box. Okay, again, we talked about the log. Again, we're not trying to decipher anything. That guy crosses face, press it vertical. We teach the same thing to our guard. The same thing to our guard on GH counter. So you're going to see here, a little tighter view. 43 is going to wrong arm it. The fullback's going to press him vertical. The guard's going to get around it. The ball bounces, but they bounce it to the Holy Ghost. No one's there, and we're good. I don't like how the left guard is just position blocking, and it allows some penetration. So now the guard runs into him as he pulls. He could pull a little bit deeper. If anything, the ball gets out just in time. Now, you could say, guard, as you pull, do you teach the guard to read? Is he going to pull right, strike right now, or pull left, strike right because of the log? No, we don't get into that. You get too much coaching. I remember being in the backyard with my son teaching him baseball, and my dad saying, "Charles, too much coaching. Let the kid hit the ball." Okay, now there's some cool variations of power. We're going to pull our tackle versus a bare front. We were playing Austin LBJ in the second round in 2022. 9 guys going Division I. Coach Malone's now on the staff at Texas. They were freaks everywhere. I didn't think we could get a damn yard. Pulling my hair out. We had got some film from Stephenville. Stephenville beat them for the state championship in 2021. And they ran a lot of dart. I'm thinking, I like the dart, but can we mash it with power on the front side? And, I'd gone to Texas, I told you, 19, and saw that cab play out of the inside zone. Well, Herb Hand had a call based upon where that backside 3 technique was, where the tackle or the guard would pull. I'm thinking, well, shit, maybe we can do that. So we're out there in our walkthrough. We had all that time at Port Neches. I'm like, kids, can you do it? And they're like, yeah, coach, we got you. So we just rep the piss out of, working we were working really a 4-man zone to the will, pulling for the mic and gap hinge. Because in bare fronts, they're going to play a 9. But we're going to work our normal double team to the will. Our center's got to win on the nose, and we got to win on the 3. And we're going to pull for the mic. A little bit cleaner picture here. This guy's going to fold. The force player's going to come off the edge. The ball hits up inside of him. Great job by the tackle. Pull right, strike right. Let's make a pile of humanity. Roll those guys out of there. I posted some stuff on Twitter about I'll call it crab. The tackle double GT with pulling inside. We had never shown that going into this game, and I was terrified. We ended up winning 44-6. I thought these guys were going to punch us in the mouth for 4 quarters, and we ended up doing it to them. Pry that thing open. Can't play Bear Zero, if you ask me. It's not very wise. Beautiful. He scores. Okay. Here it is now. This is the LBJ game I'm talking about. Austin LBJ. Division I guys everywhere. The whole backfield is in the SEC or the ACC right now. Well, they didn't come out and bear on this clip. They're a man down because the way we're going to block it, this linebacker outside in the 4-down structure, and they don't have a bear look. They're not guards. And for us, bear is head up, even though I would argue that a bear is not. That's double eagle. Is the center covered and the guards cut. That's double eagle, not bear. Bear that as that tight end or the safety is man on the tight end of the line of scrimmage. That's bear. Growing up in Chicago, playing I formation quarterback, Libertyville, our rival, ran that defense, and it was a pain to run the football, let me tell you. But they're a gap down right here. Allows our tackle to get to the will linebacker to just roll that guy out of there. Tackle pulls for the mic. Fullback gets enough, and we're out the gates. Hand that ball off to Ichabod Crane. 6'4", Slim Reaper. I don't know why our end zone looks like it's on a hill. I don't know if you guys have as much problems with film as I've had in my career Drives me insane. But there's a great look at the fullback. Pull left, strike left. Let's watch the tackle pull. Pull left, strike left. He runs through some crap, right? There's some stuff there. He runs through it. Backs in the A gap. It's beautiful. Okay, now just real quick here. I know I've gone on forever and ever, and I really appreciate everyone's patience. We in 2022 we didn't really have a tight end. We had a 360-pound kid. I don't know how legal this is, but all summer he worked for me. I paid him. He worked in my backyard losing weight. He's about 360. We got him down to about 320 where he could play. He's about 6'5". He's eyeball to eyeball with me, a massive human being. So we tried to incorporate ways he could help us. Play some tight end. Wasn't the sharpest tool, but he could man block and he could block down. So this is our zone lead play week. Again, fullback has 4 week side. Everybody else's rules are the same. I'm going to lock the backside tackle. We're double to the will. We're double to the mic. Your rule, Kirby, you go in, you hear inside zone lead. You have the man who lines up outside of you. Again, this is a semifinal now in 2022. We played Liberty Hill both years. We kind of stuck it to them this year in 2022. 2023, they got our butts, but we won that game, though. We won both games. Good look at the end zone here. Again, fullback has 4 from the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody else, zone lock, add the tight end. Same rule as if you were the H-back. We gave Kirby 2 rules. You had 2 plays to run, Kirby. Power and inside zone. Good run by the back. Tough physical. This game was played at Katy Legacy Stadium for like 14,000 people. It was nuts. Our fans were going crazy. Tomahawk chant. As a Florida State fan, probably one of the coolest things of my career. All right. Again, zone lead to the left. Great job here by the play side tackle, play side guard, just running this 4 technique out of here to the mic. Same rules apply. 4 from the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the H-back. Everybody else is pretty much zone base. But look how we just roll that 4 out of there. Back linebacker snap, or the linebacker goes A gap. Guard snaps off. They're cutting us. Come on, Isaiah, go score. But it's violent, physical football. And it's so refreshing to see teams like Michigan win a national championship last year just being physical. That's another, their head coach, Malone or Monroe, whatever the hell his name is, he does a great job. I bought his cool clinic tape before I bought the membership. They did do a wonderful job up there being violent and physical. Sorry, I don't know his name. I apologize. I can be bad with that at times. Okay. So now wrapping up here now in the power world out of 21P. Now we're going to make a 9 call. Again, block down, you make a 9 call. That shot from the moon. Look at NFL Stadium so high. Now we should be doubling back to 2. When he walks up on the line of scrimmage, we tell our quarterbacks, again, everything we do is RPO. Everything. I know I didn't show any ball spitting it out there. Everybody in America talks about that crap ad nauseum. I love it. It's been great to me. I was a piss poor quarterback, so I love chucking it when I have to. But anytime there's a D-gap defender, you have to hold him, quarterback. That's your job. There's sometimes where Cole would pull it against that LBJ team on the 2-yard line. Me and the head coach about to pull our eyeballs out of our head. But anyway, regardless, he should be working back to the mic. The double right here with the tackle and guard should be working to the will who's walked up. So that's now the will. We're going to pull for this guy. Can't make him miss. Quarterback, you got to handle him. All right. Great job. They're going to log it here. So this 9 technique, he wrong arms it. Fullback, press it vertical. I like that he ducks his head. Guard, get around it. We weren't shuffle pulling. This is my first year calling plays at Port Nation 2022. I hadn't. I love NDSU. I went to junior college up in that state. I hadn't really delved into the NDSU stuff until the offseason going into 2023. So we were skip pulling here, but still nonetheless, he's still square when he gets there and arrives with bad intentions. And our 5'7" back is hiding behind an offensive line that averages about 310 pounds. It's massive humans everywhere. one of the more fun games I've ever coached in my life. See the violence with which we play here is beautiful. And you see our DC son has a touchdown. Carter McDaniel. There you go, buddy. Touchdown. Go Indians. Okay. So now we have a 9 call, and we're going to have play side run through. So anytime that Mike linebacker is going to run through the A gap, that double team is off. So right here, 0 is going to spike through the A gap. So we have a double team working at 2. As 0 runs through, we got to snap off. It's a Mimi UU right away. Kirby, God rest his soul, does a great job of staying on his tracks. He picks up 2. We end up pulling for 6. Do a great job of kicking out the 9 technique, number 22. Backed up early in the game. They had some momentum, and we get a 3 or 4 yard gain here, whatever. Positive plays, violent football. I actually had to go into our goal line set in the second series of this game to get our guys to play physical. We were in slow motion. Very odd day. Played about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, day after Thanksgiving. Kirby had gotten in a car accident. I had to go help him, and it was a complete disaster. But anyway, we found a way. Violent physical football. Okay, this is quarterfinals 2022. Fort Bend Marshall, same team we played when they were number 2. I think this time they were number 1 in the state. They had trouble aligning to this formation. You can see they're a gap down. In college, we ran power in the early 2000s. Everyone still ran the 4-3. Sam linebackers were 250 pounds, and that's just the way football was. And now this guy who's at Texas A&M now, he's a nickel player. He's out wide. He's now going to play relate to 2, and he's going to fit the run from here. Well, they played a 9 technique. They're a gap down. So we're going to base this 9 technique here. Fullback's going to step inside. If the gap's there, he's going to fit for 26. If the hole closes, he'll step vertical and go block 26. Everybody else is running power. And this was, my boss, Jeff Joseph, on the headset, run it again. And that's something we always would do at Port Neches and even at Duncanville, run the same play and keep running it over and over again. I don't like at all the right tackle here. His eyes are down when he's galloping. But again, that tight end is Kirby Miller. He's 6'6", 360 pounds. That's the defensive player of the year in our league. Logan Granville, stud defensive end. And he's just running him inside like he's nothing. And he runs him into the 3 technique. Guard pulls around. We're 8 yards, and the state quarterfinals not being touched. Do it again to the left. Had their butt. Again, for whatever reason, with the end line tight end set, because of how they played, they want to wrong arm and spill it. These guys aren't as fast over the top. And this guy 0 is an absolute killer as well. Just stud. But because of this new formation that we hadn't shown, they couldn't align to it. I love the guard here. Pull left, strike left. Good job by the back setting it up, making the safety make a tackle. But 0 is every bit of 6'3", 240 pounds freak. Here's at 11 again. It was only a junior. Very much track blocking right there. It looks like we go to Gallup. That guy slants. Beautiful football. Okay. Pulling a tackle here. They come out in a gaps look. 6'3" defense. Real fun, huh? So we're actually a gap down. We're going to block everybody down. Block down, block down, block down, block down. We're going to pull for the mic, kick out here. We're going to be a gap down. We can't block all the linemen. All the linebackers. We can handle the line of scrimmage. And they make it worse. They cut us. Again, we've been lining up 19 on our center and running a lot of load option this game. So they were not real fond of the physicality we were playing with. But it's a good job by the tackle. Pulling left, striking left. It's not the fastest, but there's just enough space. It was what did Gail Sayers say? Give me 18 inches of daylight. And that's what Isaiah finds right here. Gets behind that 6'5", 340-pound tackle. And we find a way. Physical football play. Pulling the tackle. And then here, one of the few against they're going to blitz us. A little tighter for you. Almost done, boys. I appreciate it. Hour 45 minutes. I know I can talk. They walk up. Double teams are off. Everybody's down. Down, 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 down. Beautiful job. Isaiah, be faster. But just giving your kids tools, is constantly communicating with them and repping the crap out of this in practice, giving them the fundamentals, giving them the looks, whole part whole, taking it. I have all this stuff for Indy time. If you want to get with me, I think this is the end of it. Yeah. If you want to get with me, that's my contact information. I have nothing to hide. I was going to I wrote an article last year for AFCA, and I called a coach to get an advice. I thought, I got to be like Art Briles, and I'm not going to share shit. And everything I know is good, and what you don't know, what I do is better. That's the stupidest thing you could do. Please contact me, whether it's about strength and conditioning or run game. I love talking football. I don't have any hobbies. Hang out with my wife. That's about it. What do I need to do next, Coach? Stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop sharing that. Guys, Coach, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm a big extra lineman guy, and so putting your boy Kirby in there, I love it. And just being physical, like obviously we're line coaches, so that's non-negotiable. But there's something to be said about being physical, and another team cannot stop you, right? Like you showed them the clips, they got 7-8 guys in there, and they're just fitting wrong, or they're not lining up correctly, and it doesn't matter if you teach your guys the fundamentals and you like you say rep it. You can go out there and just overpower folks, and then you got backs that have good vision. They can make it right. So I love it.
Yeah, we a lot of what we do also is a goal line offense where we have, and it fits back into power and inside zone. We have our FF where it's zone, and we FF out of a 32 personnel, and we also run Q power that way. So that's about 20%. There's quite a bit of clips. That second time we played Fort Bend Marshall, they're number 2 in the state. Our quarterback's out. We got a sophomore in there. We're in 32 personnel running toss power like Rondell Mealy and Kevin Falk at LSU in the late 90s. Yeah. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, love it, Coach. I'm biased to where I'm at. I'm in North Carolina. I'm biased, but two of my best talks, Coach, have been you and my dude Larry McCray at Allen. Like just Texas football, just road grading guys. So I love it, Coach.
Well, I'm glad you had me, Coach. I'm glad we connected on X, and I really appreciate what you post and the passion that you have for our position group, because the guys are going to watch this. This is no stranger to us. We have the best kids in the country playing our position. Talk about the people who are the most humble, hardworking kids, and to just give them tools to be physical. It's nothing better. And I know what Allen does is great. Mike Carter, their previous offensive line coach, is a big mentor of mine. He's a great guy. He's retired now, lives on a farm, living the dream. I'm so jealous. But the Allen Eagles, they get after it up there.
No doubt. Well, guys, if y'all want to make sure you follow Coach on X, and like you said, he'll hit you up, and you can share whatever. Because I'm definitely, Coach, going to hit you up about your Indy stuff and drills, because I want to get better as well. So I definitely will be doing that. But make sure y'all contact Coach. And Coach, I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing a little bit about what y'all do down there in Duncanville.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.